I'm gone. When the members on and get it going, Donkey Kong. They got the hand out, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, nah, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong, like, tear it down, tear it down. Tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, or you shit wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you like in pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new. When they know I've been around, got a fake smile on your face, cause you been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the desert Southwest, Glendale, Arizona, and State Farm Stadium. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. They fake the handoff, now Murray. And his first look is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run here with Tavon Austin. And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings! That punt returned 69 yards. And the Vikings will strike first here, this wild card matchup. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he is going to lose yardage here. That second down play nets a -4. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Cards are going to have it here just past the 25.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. 1st down, Murray. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run the counter with Cook. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. So a nice run there, and I have to think a strong running game in the playoffs, maybe even more critical than the regular season. And if you go by the numbers, the man they have running it here, he was the best in the NFL.
And since he led the league in rushing yards, I think it means he's going to see the ball a lot in this game, too, because that's what they're built like. That's what they're built around. So I think the offensive line, the tight end, the wide receivers, everyone is coming together, wanting him to get the ball and get it often, and they want to carve some holes out there for him.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. On second down, Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Cardinals. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent work. Talk about explosive. 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Nwangu now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Look at the big man rumble. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
They pitch it out to Cook. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Second down, they'll go right back to Cook. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc., but this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
A run there with Cook not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. 2nd down coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still on the move at a nice pace.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Cousins on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. Their 1st sack of the game, and it doesn't come from a usual suspect, not somebody up front, but Charles, a defensive back getting in there.
And I can tell you from experience, he's beyond excited to make that play, because you're exactly right. Is it normal to call his number to run at the quarterback like that? Usually you're defending the pass, but he takes full advantage and dumps him to the turf. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins to throw it. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Open man is Osborne. He's got it.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal.
To throw is Cousins.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota.
The kick by Joseph is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Andrew Booth picks it off.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Joseph on for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Makes the score Vikings 27, Cardinals 7.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Nwankpa now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in. Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook.
Up past the 30, second down coming up.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 41.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
First carry for James Conner. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by who else? The former Cardinal, Patrick Peterson. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr. with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
This is Smith with a grab. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
This is caught. Touchdown. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his third interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
First down. Here's Cousins. Flushed out right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27. The partner still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Justin Jefferson. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. Here we go. 21-yard line.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Byron Murphy. He's at the 40, the 20, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. game still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't see their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that pick six a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession fourth-quarter lead. They start the drive with Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 71 yards rushing now for Cook, and this is a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cousins. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes, and boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. And he'll get in! Touchdown, Minnesota! The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Vikings have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards, and they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A good gain on 1st, has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's Murray. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Murray going to try to throw on third down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Andy Lee now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They have bucked the trend so far. Sterling performance to this point. On the road, no less, in the wild card round. And they look to finish things off here in this 4th quarter.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead. And now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Joseph now to have the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Murray looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. On the carry here, it's Austin. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
Murray now on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Cousins here to throw. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of